Welcome to Thrive Over 40, the podcast for busy moms in midlife who are ready to feel like themselves again. I'm Amanda Mitchell, Ayurvedic mentor, entrepreneur, and midlife mother of two, and I'm here to help you up-level your wellness at home with simple, supportive shifts that fit into your real life to create real, lasting change. Nothing overwhelming, nothing that requires you to overhaul your entire lifestyle. Just practical, nurturing shifts that help you come home to yourself. Ayurveda is about gentleness and simplicity. If you're ready to feel more balanced and connected, one simple shift at a time, you're in the right place. Welcome to Thrive Over 40. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm so glad you're here. Let's take a moment to take a deep breath and relax. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, and soften your face. Today's episode is a little bit of a story, one that came back to me recently, and I realized how much it mirrors with what so many women are experiencing in midlife. Because sometimes the biggest lessons don't come from the big, obvious moments. They come from the quiet, slightly scary ones when you're not quite sure if you're going to make it. And this one involves a nearly empty gas tank, a wrong turn, and a whole lot of trust. So back in 2008, I made one of the biggest decisions of my life. I packed up everything I owned into my little car, and I moved to Arizona to start massage school. And when I say everything, I mean everything that would fit into that tiny little car. I had sold the rest. It was one of those seasons in life where you just leap. My best friend Michelle came along for the drive, which made the whole thing feel a little less scary and a lot more fun. P.S. If you're listening, Michelle, I'm sorry that you had to cram your legs into that tiny space in my car. We had made it a few states away and decided to get a hotel for the evening. And at this time, the gas gauge was sitting at just about empty, and I said, I'll just get gas in the morning before we take off. And I think we were in Oklahoma. I could be completely wrong. We had made the decision that seemed so small in the moment. We got onto, I believe it was a turnpike. And if you've ever driven on one, you know you can't just get off once you're on it. There's no just pulling off wherever you want. And I remember thinking very casually, oh, I'll just get gas down the road. Except there wasn't a down the road. And before I knew it, my gas tank was getting really, really low. And you know that feeling when you start watching the needle more than the road? Yeah, that. Finally, we see a sign, and there's a gas station at the upcoming exit. Relief. We took the exit, and there's this moment where you're at the end of the ramp, you come to a stop sign, and you have to choose left or right because there was no sign that said which direction the gas station was. And without thinking too much about it, I turned right, and we started driving and driving and driving and driving, and no gas station. Now the anxiety is creeping in. The roads were kind of hilly, and I remember thinking, if this car stops, we're in huge trouble. Because remember, this is in 2008, before smartphones were even a big deal, before GPS was pretty common. This was a flip phone era. So we didn't have that immediate just check the map option. And there's this moment where your body just knows this isn't the right direction. So we turn around, and I'm not kidding, within moments, there it is, the gas station. If I had just turned left at the stop sign, we would have seen it immediately. And I think a lot about that moment now, because nothing about that situation was dramatic on the surface. It was just a small choice, a simple turn, but it created so much unnecessary stress, fear, and pressure when what we needed was actually right there. And I see this play out all the time with the women I work with. So many women in midlife are living on that metaphorical turnpike. You've been moving fast for years, maybe even decades, taking care of your family, building a life, showing up for everyone else. And somewhere along the way, you told yourself, I'll take care of me later. I'll rest later. I'll figure this out later. Except later turns into now, and now you're feeling it. You're waking up tired, your energy isn't what it used to be. Maybe there's inflammation, hormone shifts, weight changes, some brain fog happening, and you're looking around and thinking, what is happening to my body? And just like me at that stop sign, you're trying to choose a direction. Do I cut carbs? Do I push through harder? Do I try another workout plan? Do I just ignore it and hope it passes? And sometimes we turn the wrong way, not because we're doing anything wrong, but because no one has really shown us where the gas station is. Because here's the truth that I wish more women understood: your body is always communicating with you. The exhaustion, that's your body asking for restoration. The inflammation, that's your body asking for support. And that feeling of being disconnected from yourself, that's your signal that it's time to come back. But if you keep heading in a direction that's based on restriction, force, or pushing through, it's like driving further away from that gas station. And this is exactly why I created the Reclaim Your Radiance program. Because what most women need isn't more rules, they need a different direction. Inside this program, we focus on gentle, sustainable shifts that actually support your body in midlife. We look at things like regulating your nervous system so your body can actually rest and repair, simple Ayurvedic practices that bring your body back into balance, and daily rhythms that help you feel grounded instead of depleted, and reconnecting you with your own intuition so you know what your body needs. And it's not about doing everything perfectly, it's about turning in the direction that leads you back to yourself. That gas station was always there. I just couldn't see it because I was headed the wrong way. And the moment I turned around, everything shifted. So if you're in the season right now where you feel like you're running on empty, I want you to know you're not that far off. You may just need a small supportive shift in direction. If this episode spoke to you, I'd love to invite you into Reclaim Your Radiance. This is where we take those small turns together so you can feel energized, supported, and like yourself again. Because you deserve more than just getting by, you deserve to feel fully fueled. Thank you for joining me, and have a great day. Thank you for joining me today on this episode of Thrive Over 40. If you're looking to begin your journey, I invite you to download your free Radiance Reset Guide, available on my website, sattvamw.com. It's a great reference to begin your Ayurvedic journey today. Inside, you will find daily Ayurvedic rituals for hormone balance, natural remedies for midlife symptoms like hot flashes, night sweats, and mood swings, self-care practices for more energy, simple lifestyle tips for better sleep and a calmer mind. If this episode resonated with you, I invite you to follow the show so you never miss your weekly wellness reset. And if you enjoyed this podcast, I'd love you to comment or write a review. This will help other women discover information that could also help them as well. And feel free to share this with a friend who could also use a little extra support. Until next time, take gentle, meaningful care of yourself.